Hello, this week is our Bible lesson is about Jesus is the bread of life. The first story is Jesus feeds 5,000 people. When the people heard that Jesus had crossed over the Sea of Galilee, about 5,000 men took their wives and children, left their homes, and went to hear Jesus teach. They followed him all the way out into the wilderness, far away from stores and good places to eat. As it got later in the day, there was a problem. It was almost dinner time, and the people had not brought food. Jesus looked at the hungry crowd with love. He asked Philip, one of his disciples, "Where are we going to buy bread so all these people can eat?" Philip answered, "We don't have that kind of money. We can't even buy enough to feed each person a crumb." Andrew, another of Jesus' disciples, said, "There is a boy here who has given 5 little loaves of bread and 2 tiny fish. But how many people will that feed?" This wasn't much food, yet with Jesus it would be more than enough. He took the 5 loaves and 2 fish and thanked God for them. Then he started breaking the bread and fish into pieces and giving them to his disciples. The disciples took the pieces and gave them to the people. Jesus kept on breaking, the disciples kept on giving, and the people kept on eating. Before long, everyone was nice and full, and there were even 12 baskets of leftovers. Jesus had worked another amazing miracle. Many people turn away from Jesus. The crowd enjoyed every bite of the fish and bread Jesus had given them. They were so full and happy that they decided to make Jesus their king. They thought if Jesus were king, then he could give us good food to eat all the time. That was the people's plan, but it wasn't God's plan. Jesus knew it wasn't the right time to be king, so he secretly left the crowd behind and went back across the Sea of Galilee. However, the people didn't give up that easily. They followed Jesus, and when they found him, they said, "Why did you leave us?" Jesus replied, "You don't really want me to be king. You just want more food to eat. You don't even understand why I'm here. I am the bread of life. If you come to me, you will not get hungry. If you believe in me, you will not be thirsty." The crowd didn't want Jesus to be that kind of king, so many of the people stopped following him. Though they wanted Jesus to give them food and heal their sicknesses, they didn't want him to be their savior. But Jesus was not sent to fill their stomachs with food. He was sent to fill their hearts with love for God. The 12 disciples stayed with Jesus. The people didn't like what Jesus said about being the bread of life. It was hard for them to understand, and they didn't think that they wanted that kind of king. They wanted a king who would give them more free food. Many of the people shook their heads, turned their backs, and walked away, following Jesus no longer. Then Jesus turned to his 12 disciples, pointing to the departing crowds. He asked, Do you want to leave me like these people have?" Peter said, "Lord, who else will we follow except you? You teach the only way to get to heaven. We know for sure that you are the Holy One from God." When Jesus heard Peter's answer, he replied, "Didn't I choose you to be my 12 disciples? Yet one of you doesn't really believe in me." Jesus was reminding the 12 that they were his disciples because he had chosen them. They had believed, but it was God who had revealed to Peter and the others that Jesus truly was the Holy One from God. This is what made them different from those who turned away. Jesus was also warning about one of the 12 named Judas Iscariot. Jesus knew that one day, soon, Judas would help Jesus' enemies kill him. Though Jesus was approaching the time of his death, he was completely in charge, and everything was happening according to God's wonderful plan. Our Bible verse this week is "Say thank you to God." Psalm 136:1.